Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's Matt with Restaurant's Secret Weapon, and this is the ultimate guide to make more money with social media for restaurant owners. So, this training and everything we're going to go through on here is going to be all about how to get results, how to drive more people in the door using social media, using the stuff that pretty much everybody that walks in the door of your restaurant is on, 24/7 when they're in there, right? So, let's go ahead, let's dive into everything and get started here. Now, number one, before we get started, I just want to, guys, let you know a little bit and tease you maybe a little bit, is that actually restaurants have increased their year-over-year numbers by as much as 90% by using just one of these tips. So that's not hype, guys. Take a look right here. This is actually a real text conversation we're having with clients we work with. And you can see here they have a College Park, Maryland location that's up almost 90% this summer versus last summer. So these are proven strategies. They're legit, and they can get you results if you put them into action, right? That's the one thing that matters the most of all, is putting them into action. So let's get to it. Number one, you want to get your website right. So there's a lot of places that I come across or that I work with that don't have these things in place, and it's really hurting you online when people are searching for you. So let's dive into it, right? You got to make sure, number one, that it's 100% mobile friendly. I don't know how many websites I've come across that for restaurants are not mobile friendly, right? And we know, guys, everyone is on their phone. So let's take a look at a really quick example of that just to kind of illustrate this for you guys. Let's take a look, and you can see right here, I'm going in, and this doesn't have a menu. It has a home, but all the other menus are not open. So if I press on one, it leads me to a section of their website where I don't know where I am. And it leads me, I'm pressing on it, I don't know if I get the menu or what do I get. And you can see here, I actually was able to fool around and figure out where the menu was. But then also too, if I click on there, you can see the menu popped up when I finally clicked on it. And then you can see here, the text, right? It's too big for the phone, right? And it's too bunched together and everything like that. So it's so important that you make sure that it's mobile friendly. You cannot stress this enough because everyone is on their mobile phones. So that's the first step that you got to make sure of. Let's pop into the next one right here, right? Is the menu easy to read? And we just saw in that last example, it was actually pretty easy to read, but there's a lot of restaurants that I come across where the menu online is not easy to read, especially on the phone, right? That comes back to the mobile optimized website. Make sure that people don't have to work hard to see what's on your menu. That's a huge missed opportunity if that's the case on your website. So make sure that the menu is easy to read as well. So number three on this is that you want to get on your guest's phone the easy way. Now, what is the easy way to get onto their phone? Well, number one, it's a text message, right? I don't have, and many of us don't have unread text messages on their phone for very long. In fact, the average time that it takes somebody to read a text message is actually under 3 minutes. So by leveraging text messaging in your marketing and in your outreach to your customers, you're going to be able to get on their phone and get seen a lot faster. And if you had this second source of sending messages and staying in front of your guests, you're going to have a much better response rate for the messages that you send out, and that is Facebook Messenger, guys. So in 2019, Facebook Messenger was the #1 most downloaded app, and it gets bundled along with Facebook. So if you have a Facebook account, you have Facebook Messenger. So combining these two platforms, text messaging and Facebook messaging, well, you're actually greater than email. You're going to get a much greater response rate because, number one, people are going to be seeing them, and number two, they don't leave it like you see my email inbox right there with 223,000 plus unread messages. And that, what you're facing when you do that, is that's a multitude of email addresses. I have 4 different email addresses in there. And I am just like most people, right? You're going to filter what you want to receive information-wise based on how important you think it is. And so if I have a few different email addresses, I'm going to filter what I want to receive based on if I want to receive that to my main email inbox that I check all the time, or I just want to send it to a junk one. And the thing is that you won't know this. So you have to have some sort of a strategy in place where you're for certain that you're having the best way to get in front of a potential guest. And we know text and Facebook Messenger, based on the data, is the absolute best way to get in front of them. So why is this? Well, here's the reason why. It's the path of least resistance. Unread texts don't sit in people's phones. Unread Facebook messages don't sit in people's phones, but unread emails do. And that's why it's important that you have some sort of plan in place to be able to get into their phone, not into their email addresses, but onto the phone, where you'll have a path of least resistance for the type of offers you're going to make to them and to get that loyalty from them. So here's the other way to do this as well, is you want to leverage web traffic from other platforms. So what this icon is here is it's actually the Facebook Pixel icon. And if you're not familiar with that, don't worry. It's not super technical, but the Facebook Pixel is just basically a code you place on your actual website that when someone comes to your website, Facebook is actually going to gather that data, and then they're going to take a look, and you can take that information and match it up to somebody's Facebook profile. So that way, if somebody comes to your website and is like searching around, looking at the menu or doing whatever, you can set up a very simple system that when they go onto Facebook or they go onto Instagram, that they're going to see an ad by you. They're going to see a post that you made, whether it's a video or whether it's a picture or anything like that, but you'll be able to stay in front of people and get their attention focused on you more and more. And so one last bonus tip I just want to talk about with this, when you're making sure that you're getting your website right, is do not neglect Google My Business. And I'll tell you why. A lot of businesses, you can say, yes, you know what, I've set up Google My Business, I've got it really dialed in, or I set it up when I set up my business. But there's some key mistakes that I see restaurants making with Google My Business that, because it's the most powerful search engine, that's really holding you back. And so one of the things that we can take a look at here, we have an example here of a Google My Business for a pizza place that's local to me nearby. And I can see right here, dine-in says no. It says yes for takeout, it says no for delivery. But the very first thing I see at the top is there's an ad there for Grubhub. Now, you know Grubhub is going to take a percentage of that, right? So what is happening here, and then right below that as well, as you can see, to order, it shows you Seamless.com, Grubhub, Postmates, and DoorDash. We don't have the actual ability on the website to do an order there and go to their actual website, because that's what should be first. If you have the ability for people to place orders online with you through your website and not through a third party, you've got to make sure that it's right there in that section. If not, you're missing out on orders and you're paying commissions to these places when you shouldn't be. So it's huge. And I talk about this right here because we're going to show side by side here in just a minute. This dine-in and this takeout and this delivery section right there, because if we go to the website for the restaurant, you can see right here, business update right at the top. Hey, they're open for outdoor dining, they're open for takeout, and they're open for delivery. But the thing is if I search for this pizza place, or I search pizza near me in Google, and this pops up, and I see this, I can say, oh, only takeout. I might not take that next step. You can't count on guests knowing that they need to take that next step, right? You've got to have it right in front of them and strike while the iron is hot. And so that is one bonus tip that you want to make sure that you don't miss in your Google My Business. Make sure, get in there today and look and see if this is set up correctly for you. Now, the number 2 thing that you want to do to be able to get better results on social media is inside the 4 walls of the restaurant. So, number 1, most people, when they come into the restaurant and they have a great experience, they have great food, and they love the place, they are not going to leave you a review. Studies show that, right? So you're not going to get a positive review from those people. On the flip side, the people who come in and don't have a good experience, they're much more likely to leave you a bad review. So what you want to be doing to get in front of this is you want to be asking people for reviews. There's a reason why the parable says, ask and you shall receive, right? You want to be asking the guests who come in the door, who have a great experience, for reviews. And you want to have an easy way to do this and not just rely on your staff to do it, but have a way for the guests to do it themselves as well. So here's a way to do that, right? What you're going to be able to do with this is this could be put on the table, either a little small tabletop, or you could put it into one of the holders as well. And you could offer, get a free dessert on your next visit. Now you're saying, Matt, this doesn't ask for a review. Well, here's the key, right? And you could take your phone out and open up the camera if you have an iPhone, and you could scan this code right here on the screen, and it'll show you a demo of how this works. Because what happens is we're going to give these people who scan this a free dessert. However, what we're also going to do is, because this is a system that we can build ahead of time, is that we can then ask them a couple hours after they leave the restaurant. We say, hey, thank you so much for visiting our restaurant. We really appreciate your business, and our business thrives on reviews. We would love it if you could leave us a review here. And then you can go through and they can click a button and they can go to leave your review. And what you can do at that point is you can say, how was your visit? Was it 4 stars and above? Was it 3 stars and below? They'll choose. And if it was 3 stars and below, what you can do is you can get in front of that. You can say, hey, you know what? We really want to make sure that this is going to be a 4-star or above review. What can we do to make your experience better? What can we do to improve on this? And you'll be able to get direct feedback from potential guests. And so this is a huge thing that you can do to be able to just ask for reviews. It's super easy to do once you set it up. And then from that point, the other thing you can do inside the 4 walls is just really continue to leverage the cell phone, because no one is leaving their house without this thing. And it's not outside of their hand for very long when they're in the restaurant. So a lot of places have the Wi-Fi password set up, and people can go and they can see that the Wi-Fi is there. What you can be doing is you can set up the same one, and this code works the same way. You can scan this code, it's live, and see a demo of how you can gather people into a VIP or a loyalty type program and get their information on Facebook Messenger by having them scan for the Wi-Fi. It's the same kind of thing. You can have them scan for the Wi-Fi, and then 2 hours later, an hour later, whatever, after they leave the restaurant, you can follow back up with them and you can ask them different things. You can say, how was your experience? We'd love to get some feedback. Can you leave us a review? Or you can say, how was your experience? We'd love to get, we'd love to invite you back in for a free blank. This is something that you can do and set up into your restaurant that's going to make the guest experience overall much better as well. And so you're going to get a ton of great feedback from people. And we've seen all of this stuff that I'm showing you work extremely well for increasing results on social media. And this step right here, scanning for Wi-Fi, it's so super simple and easy to set up and put into place. And then another thing that you're going to want to do, this is probably the biggest one inside your 4 walls. I eat at restaurants all the time. And how many of them can you guess that would tell me when it's my birthday month or when it's my birthday that they have a special that they do for birthdays? None of them. I've always had to ask if there's anything, or the people who are with me have always had to ask if there's anything that's going on to celebrate my birthday. And then what usually happens is I'll get a free dessert, or I might get a free drink or something like that, right? Well, here's the thing. You want to celebrate this, because not only do people love to go out on their birthdays, but they bring a crowd of people. This is a huge missed opportunity for most restaurants. You might get them on your email list and you might send them an email for their birthday or something like that, right? If it's a big chain. However, that is just like we talked about earlier. It's not working anymore. It's like hitting a brick wall. This is a way for you to get right onto their phone, as we talked about, and this is a live scan code. You can scan this code and go through and see a birthday example right through here. But this is perfect because what you're going to do is you're going to tell them exactly what your birthday special is. And when they know what your birthday special is, then they're going to be able to say, you know what, I'd really like to have that for my birthday. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to scan this code. And then what you do is you get their name, and you're going to be able to get their email there. You're going to be able to get their phone number, and you're going to be able to get their Messenger subscription, and you'll be able to ask what their birthday is. And they're giving you 5 pieces of information here. And then what you have the ability to do, now you have multiple ways to follow up with them, not only on their birthday, but multiple times throughout the year, right? Because you can say, when their birth month is coming up, hey, your birthday is coming up. We're so excited to invite you in to get your free entree for your birthday. Imagine how much of a response you'd get if you did that, right? There'd be a lot of people who'd be like, wow, this is so cool. I didn't even, you know what I mean? Like, this is so cool that they remembered my birthday and that they're inviting me in. I totally remember signing up for it, but I totally forgot about it up until now. And then the week before their birthday as well, doing the same kind of thing, a text, a Facebook Messenger, right? And then any kind of other things you can do. This will give you ways to get onto your potential guests' phones much more often. And the great thing about this is you're getting their permission to do it, so you're not spamming them for this stuff. The number 3 most important thing to do to get results through social media is, well, it's social media. So we talked a lot about, setting some things up to be able to get you results. The first 2 were all about, let's set you up in the best position to actually get results through social media. And so number 3 is the social media itself. So let's take a look at this, right? Know what to post that will get and keep your guests' attention. Let's talk a little bit about that, right? So what do you post? Well, here's one of the things you want to post. As a restaurant owner, you want to post your story, right? We love stories. Think of it, once upon a time, and then on goes the story, right? Well, instead of starting with once upon a time, you could say, hey, here's the reason why I started this restaurant. I had this passion for this, and it led me here. And then I went from there to here, and you're talking about your story. People want to know about you. People want to know about the people who are behind the places that they love to go. So tell your story as the restaurant owner. Tell your story as the restaurant. How did it come to be? This is great content to put on your Facebook, on your Instagram, and on your social media profiles. Now, another great thing to post about is to post about your staff, right? The people who make the business go, the people who they see day after day if they come into the restaurant. You're going to be able to share things like your staff and their family, your staff and why they like working for you and why they love working at this restaurant. Also, too, like what are their favorite dishes? And are there any special things on the menu that these people have created that people can come in and order? That's a great thing to do because then it gives that little aspect of it's a little bit secretive, right? You can come in and get something special on the menu that so-and-so has recommended to you. A next thing to post, number 3, you want to post about new dishes and ideas behind those dishes. Because not only people love to see new dishes and new food, but we love to see and hear about what caused you to want to make this. What inspired you to make this dish and why is it now on the menu? So that's a great thing to post about as well. Now, another thing that's seen a lot of success is going live and being in your kitchen at home or being in the kitchen at the restaurant and talking about how to make your most popular dishes at home. Now you might say, really, like I don't want to give away my recipes and I don't want to show people how to do this. They'll stop coming in. Actually, it's complete opposite, right? You could give me, you could give somebody else the exact recipe, and we're not going to be able to put it together like you're going to be able to put it together. We may try once or twice and realize, you know what? I'd rather just go there and I'd rather just pay you to do it because it tastes so much better. So don't be afraid to do that. We've seen huge success with this because people love to see how things are made. They love to know how to do it themselves, but at the same time, they're still going to want to go to the restaurant and they're still going to want to eat the delicious food that's cooked there instead of making it at home. And then one of the other great things you can do is you can post about daily specials, right? So if there's a new daily special, post about it. Post a picture about it. Post a video about it even better. And talk about it, right? Like the topics that we talked about previously. Talk about the daily specials. What inspired it? Why is it on special now? Maybe it's a seasonal type thing. Talk about those things. This is great content. And when you use this content and you post consistently about it and post these topics consistently, you're going to see your social media grow over time. And what you're going to see from posting like this is that you're going to see steady growth month after month after month on your social media with the amount of people that you're able to reach. Now, the big thing with social media is you want to know your platform. And what are our major platforms? Well, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. These are the hottest platforms that are going on right now. And so one of the ones that we got to talk about here is that there's different ways to post on each one of these platforms. Here's the biggest thing when it comes to platforms. The things you want to think about the most. Facebook. Facebook, number 1, is not hashtag friendly. People don't use hashtags on Facebook to search for things, as opposed to Instagram, people do. And you can follow certain hashtags on Instagram to get information. So you can follow hashtag Taco Tuesday on Instagram, and people will be able to see like all the places that are posting about Taco Tuesday. Facebook doesn't work like that. right? Facebook, you want to do a lot of great video content, and what works best, live video directly from your phone. Be real. Show them your real personality. People will love you for it on Facebook. On Instagram, also go live, but also utilize the hashtags because people do search by hashtags on Instagram. And TikTok, well, TikTok is all about video, whether it's active right now in the United States or not, depending upon what time of the year it is. But you want to be able to use TikTok and leverage TikTok to follow the trends that are going on. What are the popular videos that are going on in TikTok? And how can you take that popular video and twist it with a food flair to it or something to do with your restaurant, right? That's really going to bring that attention. Now, you want to take all of this and use all your social media to build you an asset that you control. What am I talking about? Well, I'm talking about a database. If you have a database in slow times and in good times, what you can do is you'll have a name, you'll have an email, you'll have a phone number, you usually have a Facebook Messenger subscription. In the future, Facebook is combining Instagram and some other platforms as well, Facebook Messenger all together, so you can message people directly from one local spot on your phone in an app, which is fantastic. But you got to be able to use that and not continue to rent the attention from Facebook, from Instagram, from TikTok, or wherever, right? When you have the database of the name, email, phone number, and then you're able to connect with them and send guests relevant messages to incentivize them to come back in, well, now you're building something that you control instead of paying to rent the audience from these providers, right? Now, once you use all of your social media to start building yourself an asset that you can control and you can reach out to and incentivize guests to come back in, well, here's how you can supercharge that. So what you're going to do, we talked a little bit about the Facebook pixel that you place on your website earlier and how it can gather data about people's Facebook profiles that visit you on your website. Well, here's a really cool feature that you can do, and it costs you pennies. You can retarget those website visitors with pictures and videos. So somebody like myself comes to your site and you have that placed there. Well, what you can do is then I've been on your site and you know it, but you don't know any of my information. You can start showing me pictures and videos of your food to entice me to come into the restaurant. And every time I log into Facebook or Instagram, I'm seeing you on my phone. I'm scrolling through and I'm like, oh, there's that restaurant again. That food looks really good. I got to go there. Well, then you're staying in front of me and you're going to get much more of my attention by doing that. So what you can also do, because you have this Facebook pixel set up, and this is working for you in the background, by the way, is you can also send me relevant offers to your loyalty program. So if you have a loyalty program in place and I get a free, dessert or whatever else that it might be, well, now you can put that in front of me because you know a lot more about me. Now you know I've been on the website. I must have some kind of interest in your restaurant. And so doing this is how you can start to supercharge your results. Now you can also show up again in my phone, on Facebook, and on Instagram, because if I watched a video of yours, it doesn't matter how long I've watched the video, you can stay back in front of me and show me other videos and other content and other offers. You can keep on staying in front of me time and time again whenever I go onto social media. And this is how you really stay top of mind with people in your restaurant. Now, another great way to supercharge results, every month, do a gift card giveaway. A gift card giveaway is a relatively low cost but high reward kind of contest that you can do because you're going to get a lot of attention because people love to win. But then what you can do from this gift card giveaway is you can route people in to Facebook Messenger from it and get their information. Make their email a requirement of getting in. Make their phone number a requirement of getting in. You'll definitely be surprised because you might be thinking, well, people aren't going to give that to me, or not very many people are going to give that to me. You'd be surprised. To win a gift card, a $50 gift card, a $100 gift card, maybe a $25 gift card, you will get people to give you that information. I've seen it time and time again, and it works. So put it into practice right now. Now, finally, one of the best things that you can do is because you're utilizing everything, right? We're literally taking every piece of meat off this bone, and the last portion of it you want to do is when you're posting regularly, when you're posting your videos and your pictures and all of these things, you're going to get people to react to them. They're going to give you a like. They're going to give you a heart. They're going to give you a wow or whatever the reaction is. What you can do with that, many people don't know this. You go straight into that post and you can click on those reactions and you can see all of the people who have reacted to that post, and you can invite each one of them to like your Facebook page. And there's actually a little known plugin on Google Chrome that all you have to do is you have to just click on one button and it's going to start to invite all those people in automatically on each post. So it's a really great way to increase not only your likes on your page, but that's going to help you to increase your organic reach, which is going to send a signal to Facebook that your page is relevant and it's engaging. And then Facebook's going to start to see that, and they're going to start showing your page to other people that are similar to the people who already like it. So it's a snowball effect. And this is huge. This is how you supercharge your results on social media. Now, a bonus tip for this. Now, a bonus tip for the social media is get your staff to buy in and get their involvement by having their own contest. You can do this. You can say, hey, listen, whenever you see a great looking dish come out of the kitchen, take a photo of it. And what we're going to do is at the end of every month, we're going to take a look at all the photos, and whoever has the best photo is going to win this contest. You can have it be a gift card to another restaurant. You can have it be some kind of great gift or giveaway for your staff that they would be interested in, to get their buy-in, to get them to get all kinds of great photos that you can continue just to post on social media, great videos that you can post on social media, especially when people come in for, like, say, for instance, their birthday. You're going to be able to leverage that and use those videos and use those pictures on your social media to continue to have great content. And then, as we talked about, you're going to continue to leverage the results with everything else that you've been doing already. Now, the final piece, how you can increase your results and get more sales through social media, is that all of your efforts should build you an asset. So every single piece of everything should build an asset that you own and that you control. So I'm just going to talk really briefly, but the number one mistake that I see 95% of restaurant owners making is this. You don't have a plan in place to gather your current and your future guests' contact info that's reliable as turning off and on a light switch, right? Think about it. A light switch, we don't know exactly how it works. Maybe we don't know all the technical stuff, but we know if I flip that switch, the light comes on. If I flip it down, the light goes off. And that's how dialed in you want to have your social media and your marketing for your restaurant. You want to be able to flip it on and get the result you want, and flip it off and turn off that result as fast as possible. So what we talk about is that, when you have a traditional marketing and you have traditional media, you're actually renting an audience, right? You're spending dollars and you're spending them to get immediate sales. But after you're done, if you want to get that sale again, you have to spend that money again. And you're building a database of people that love your restaurant and they love the food. Well, now you can continue to reach out to them again and again at incredibly low costs, pennies on the dollar, when compared to doing an ad campaign and just trying to get immediate sales. So we know from our experience that there's 3 ways to increase your restaurant sales. You want to get more new customers into the door, you want to get more of your current customers to come back more often, and you want to turn both of them into repeat customers where now they're coming in 2, 3, 4, 5 times or more a month, depending upon the type of food you sell. And then from that point, once you've got that, you want to increase their average check. And there's strategic ways to do that as well. But here's the 4-step process that we use to get results for the restaurants that we work with, and this works every time for them. So number 1, get their attention using what we call a Godfather offer. And what the Godfather offer is, like it sounds, it's an offer that they cannot refuse, right? And this is going to be an offer that they can come in, they can use it to get a great deal on food. And here's an example right here, giving out a free pizza. So we did a buy one, get one free pizza promotion. Now, if we take a look deeper into this post, we can see right here, we've got 700 reactions on this post. 700 reactions. What we are able to do now is we can then invite these people to like the Facebook page and increase our organic reach. But on top of that, we've got 640 plus comments. This is telling us this is actually signaling to Facebook that this is a super engaging post and that Facebook should start showing it to more people that have similar characteristics to the people who've already commented. So we're getting more and more attention from Facebook and we're getting it cheaper. But on top of that, we've had 60 people share this post. Now, all of this stuff works together to build that asset for you, right? Because now we have some information about the people that we know are interested in the food that we offer. Now, the next step of this is what you're going to do with it is this system will automatically gather through Facebook Messenger their name. You're going to get their email. You're going to be able to get their phone number, and you have their Messenger subscription as well. And you can see all of this right here. We call it the VIP type program. You could call it whatever you like, but what we're doing here is we're building you a database of people that you can reach out to on a consistent basis, and you can incentivize these people to come into your restaurant for pennies on the dollar. Number 3, what happens after we get their information is we're going to drive them into your location to experience your food, your service, and the ambiance on this as well. And you can see right here, a buy one, get one free salad bowl. This offer went out. It said bring the message in to get this offer. We tell them where it's valid. We tell them exactly what they need to do at that point to come in and use the offer. And then what we're going to see after this is step 4. You want to be able to automatically remind those people that haven't redeemed to come in, and then what we talked about as well, incentivize people to come back in a second time, a third time. And so you can see right here what you can do on social media is that you can follow back up with people. When you have an offer that goes out in the mail, when you have an offer that goes out in a magazine or on a billboard or on radio or in TV, you have no way to follow up with people who are interested and get back in front of them because you don't have any information about them. If you want to reach them again, you have to pay again to reach them. And so what you're able to do with this type of social media system is you're able to get that information, you're able to use that information and make relevant offers to people over and over again and stop wasting money on ineffective marketing. Because this 4-step process, it's a proven system. It's going to attract new and repeat business from the guests that are outside of the restaurant. This isn't just another loyalty type program that you're going to have inside your restaurant and that's going to underperform for you. This is pulling people in that are outside of your restaurant and bringing new business in day after day. So, and then we take that and we leverage that to drive them in and spend money, and then on top of that, we track what they spend. Yeah, we literally track what they spend so you're able to see what your upfront return is for what's being put out. So this one system combines all 4 core DNA strands that we just talked about together. And it's a unique process that we call Restaurant Secret Weapon. So let's recap really quick about the Restaurant Secret Weapon system and what it's all about. Number 1, you want to grab their attention with that Godfather offer that they can't refuse. Number 2, you're going to get their contact information. Number 3, you're going to leverage the offer to drive them into the restaurant. And number 4, you're going to send automatic reminders so that they walk in and they redeem, and you're going to incentivize return visits for them. It's one system that turns strangers into guests while building massive brand awareness for you and giving you a simple way to send incentivizing offers to people that you know love your food. And you can do this 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. And also, what good is spending money on marketing if you don't know if it works or not? So always have a way to measure your results. And I'll show you right now, here's a way that we measure results for restaurant owners that we work with across the country. You can see here, over 1,000 total redemptions right there, actually 1,000 right on the money, and our current track sales is just on the front end. This is just basically to recoup our advertising costs, but you can see, even then, on recouping advertising costs, we have a total cost of $3,250 spent and a total track sales of almost $21,000 on the front end. So once you have this asset in place, once you have all of these social media things in place, then it's time to craft your long-term nurture strategy of how you're going to continue to stay in front of the guests that live around your restaurant. So this is how you keep yourself in front of your ideal guests and truly master social media for your restaurant. All right, guys, that is all I've got. If you have any questions or you want us to put all of this into place for your restaurant, all you need to do, email me at matt@gotobrightside.com, or you can go to restaurantsecretweapon.com matt.com/schedule and get right onto my calendar so we can talk about how we can implement this strategy into your restaurant and get you those results. All right, take care. Hopefully this was helpful to you. If you did find it helpful, please share it with other restaurant owners that you think might also find it helpful in their restaurant.